Today we're going to have a topic that people have been bringing up a bunch recently, especially with Master Duel hitting the card, along with the German Nationals and a couple other events that's been happening. We are going to be talking about Eradicator Epidemic Virus. Now, you have the virus trio with Eradicator, Deck Devastation, and Crush Card Virus, the only one of the three that have been errated and forbidden. The other two have been limited at the lowest, and they're all currently legal at 3. Crush Card out here really doesn't do much anymore because they nerfed it to the sky with the erratas, but honestly, it's really alright. Let's talk about these two now. Deck Devastation Virus and Eradicator Epidemic Virus both requires one dark monster with 2,000 attack or 2,500 or more attack. So Labyrinth clears both of them, and many other decks that are dark clears both of them. And then for Eradicator, you declare one type of card, spell or trap card. You look at your opponent's hand and all spell or trap cards they control, or look at your opponent's hand and all monsters they control, and all cards they draw until the end of the third end phase after this card's activation. You either destroy all cards with the declared types, spell or trap cards, or you destroy all monsters with 1,500 attack or less. Now, these two have seen meta play over the course of the past few years. Eradicator Epidemic Virus, as of recently, is being used in things like Labyrinth, and even some players like Branded are running it. Even Sprite has the option to with Gigantic Sprite. And then Deck Devastation Virus was mainly used against Sprite, because being able to nuke all their monsters, I believe outside of one of them, what is actually very good. The only ones that this card does not nuke is Gigantic Sprite, and that is it. So that is quite a lot that gets nuked. Now, as we saw in the German Nationals, we saw in the finals that it was Kashtira versus Labyrinth. Game 3, during the draw phase, the Labyrinth player activated Eradicator Epidemic Virus, specialing by tributing their lovely lady of the Labyrinth and nuking 5 cards out of your opponent's hand, and was left with a Fenrir, but it didn't matter, all because of what was left with the back row. As we saw that they had Psalm Strike, they probably had a second one or something to stop the Fenrir, or even Lady could trigger and was able to destroy the other card in the hand. So there was essentially a way that he could hand loop for 6, but in my opinion, with these two cards, they are ticking time bombs. Putting it to 1 doesn't really matter because most of the time you only need 1. And some of the times with this card, if you manage to call spells and traps, your opponent, that is 2/3 of your opponent's deck. I have been comparing a lot of cards to other cards recently, like Skill Drain to Imperial Order, but this time, I'm just going to say blatantly, this card will be a massive problem heading forward as more and more people pick up the card. The more and more it's going to get toxic. It is a toxic card already, but being able to snipe that many cards out of your opponent's hand is astronomically big, especially against things like Kashtira or even Runic and Sky Striker. They hit Lightning Storm to 2 just so Labyrinth could do more, even though people were running already Lightning Storm at 2. But the main thing that they should hit is this, because this hits Labyrinth, this hits Runic. It also hits Sky Striker. It hits every deck that's heavy spell or trap card based. It hits every deck that is on the light side of things. Being able to get free knowledge of your opponent's hand is most of the time not good. And honestly, I definitely do see Eradicator Epidemic Virus getting limited or banned in the near future. But with Deck Devastation Virus, we're going to have to wait and see because it is the weaker of the two. Now, for a little highlight of the other viruses, Full Force Virus is alright. It destroys all monsters with 1500 or lesser defense, so that doesn't cover as much. And then we have Grinning Virus, which is destroy one card. Your opponent destroys one card of their choice in their hand or deck for every 500 of the monster that you tributed. So most of the times you're getting six cards out of your opponent's deck, but this card is not that good. The only main two that we focus on nowadays is Deck Dev and Eradicator, and I could definitely see them being hit in the future. But I want to know what you guys think about these cards. Are they too toxic for the game, or do they actually balance out the game? Anyways, I've been Bolt Spider. See you guys in the next video, and goodbye.